रंगगंधार गिरिधारी शिष्य राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मरन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोसाई महाराज श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपार शतर शत शिशिमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट महाभगवत शिल गौर किशोरदास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट शिल सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सार्वभौम शिल जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जय। श्री रूपानुग गुरु वर्ग की जय। शिल बलदेव विभूषण प्रभु की जय। शिल विश्वनाथ चक्रवर्ती ठाकुर की जय। श्री नरथम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु त्रय की जय। शिल कृष्णदास कविराज गोसाई पाद की जय। जय शिल वृंदावन दास ठाकुर की जय। जय श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ शार गोसाई प्रभु की जय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल कोरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय। सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदत्त गिरिराज महाराज की जय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय। जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। जय श्रीमान नित्यानंद राम की जय। श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। नित्यानंद अवधूत की जय। जय तदीय शुभ आविर्भाव तिथि की जय। नित्यानंद त्रयोदशी तिथि की जय। तिथि पालन करी भक्त वृंद की जय। जय हराय पंडित की जय। परमवती देवी की जय। जय श्री जानवा वसुधा देवी की जय। जय श्री एक चक्र ग्राम की जय। जय द्वादश गोपाल की जय। जय अ, जय श्री हरि नाम संकीर्तन की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि वो। Hare Krishna, Jai Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. So I'll do a short Mangalacharan and then we will begin. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Maya Bharati Mingilo Daragatan Udhritya Jivani Man Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukhang Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharasa Sudhanidhim Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Um, 1 second, let me just find some, do these pranamantras for Nityananda. Sankarshana karanatoya shayi karbodashayi cha payogdishayi sheshascha yasyang shakala sanityanandakya rama sharanam mamastu nityananda namastu bhyam premananda pradayane kalo kalmasha nashaya janava pataye namaha. हाराय पंडित तनुज कृपा समुद्र परमावती तनय तीर्थ पदार विंद त्वं प्रेम कल्पतरुरार्ति हरावतार मां पाहि पामरम अनाथमनन्य बंधु. Let's do some corny type pranamantras. 1 second, let me just find here. Okay. Ajanulambita-bhujo kanakavadato sankirtanaikapitaro kamalaya-taksho Vishwambaro dvijavaro yugadharmapalo Vande Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaurodaye Pushpavanto Chitro Shando Tamo Nudo Avatirno Sakarunyo Parichinno Sarishvaro Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Dvau Bhrataro Bhaje. Smaragoragadadarakelikalam bhavagoragadadarapakshachara Shrinugoragadadaracharukatam bhajagodrumakananakunjavidum Tavaivasmi na jivami tvaya vina Iti vigyaya devi tvang nayamang charanantikam Bhaktya vihina aparada lakshay kshiptashcha kamadhitaranga madhe Kripa mai tvam sharanam prapanna Vrinde namaste charana ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Nityananda Ram Ki Jai. Hari Bol Nri Hari Prabhu and Bhavatarani Mataji Dandavat Pranams, Guru Nishta Prabhu, Madhusudan Prabhu, Pradumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, and let's see on YouTube and Facebook, Kishore Prabhu, Pramila Didi, and that's so strange. It says that there's 0 people watching on YouTube and Facebook, but I know that's not true because I can see comments. But anyhow, Dandavat Pranams. So today I didn't even really broadly plan what we would read. Okay, I know we can. There's something by Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj from Sri Guruna's Grace, which is very beautiful, of course. And then I thought maybe we can just read different sections of Chaitanya Bhagavat. Indira Mataji just sent me a file, Krishna Katha Mrita Bindu, with a bunch of Nityananda-kathā on it, so we can check that out. I just now looked at Sri Chaitanya and His Associates by Srila Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Goswami Maharaj, and I couldn't find Nityananda Prabhu there. I wonder if it's like just too, um, yeah. Anyways, Nityananda must be in that book. I couldn't find it though. Um, but yeah, this program's just going to be very spontaneous, no plan. If anybody wants me to read anything, send it over, or anybody has recommendations. Um, Pradyumna Prabhu saying Nityananda Charitamrita, isn't that just chapters from Chaitanya Bhagavat, that book? I think it is. I think it's just compilation of, but there's no Bengali in it. I always like to see the original verses. Um, Haribo Gokuleshwari Didi. Haribo. All right, so what should we start with? Maybe we'll just start with the Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj article. That's one of my favorite things. Oh, Haribo Krishnamaya Didi. Okay, so where is it? Okay, it's on my website, inactiveocean.com. And then where is it? Oh, I posted it here. Right here. The glories of Nityananda. There it is. Okay. All right. So where is this from? I'm just seeing. Okay, so these are excerpts from Glorifications by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj. One is on the Chaitanya Saraswat Mat's website, Sri Gaudiya Darshan. And then the other excerpt is from chapter 4 of Sri Guru and His Grace. And we'll sing kirtans for Nityananda Prabhu also. There's the Nityananda Prabhu appearance pastime. I came to Mayapur last night so that we can go on a bit later. Because yeah, we have a program here after I'm finished, then I'll be going to a program here in Mayapur. But I think we can probably go on for maybe like a couple hours. Yeah. Okay. Sri Nityananda Prabhu is there to consolidate the ground, the foundation. That will help us to make further progress. Speedy progress without a good foundation may invite reactions. Our foundation comes from Nityananda Prabhu, Gurudev. That the foundation will not go away is the primary necessity. Sri Nityananda Prabhu's mercy sometimes exceeds that of Sri Chaitanya Dev. Chaitanya Dev sometimes cannot accept the fallen. If a bad precedent may be created by doing so, then he cannot accept them. So he has to consider someone's status and position and other things. But Nityananda Prabhu's mercy does not care for any unfavorable circumstances. It is so lavish and blind. Sinners of different degrees. It is all embracing. And and Mahaprabhu cannot dismiss Nityananda Prabhu's recommendation. This is the connection we are given to understand. Nityananda Prabhu gave shelter even to those whom Mahaprabhu rejected. And gradually, Mahaprabhu had to accept them. So the magnitude and circumference of Nityananda's grace is the greatest. For us, the most fallen souls, that is our solace. Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laho Gauranger Namare, Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje, She Hoya Mar Pranare. Nityananda Prabhu's duty is concentrated on bringing everyone to Gauranga. He calls everyone to fall at the feet of Gauranga. Nothing more is necessary. All else, the highest fortune, will be attained automatically. He simply calls out, collects souls, and throws them in the dust of Gauranga's feet. Nothing else is necessary, whoever they may be, a Muslim, a low-class person, or otherwise. Scholarship and so-called moral and material purity are not necessary. If anyone, even if they are of the lowest type, gets connection with the feet of Gauranga, then all their disqualifications may be removed in a second. Gauranga is such a touchstone, and anything he converts does not become a middle class jewel. It becomes a jewel of the highest class. He is such a touchstone. Nityananda used to roam along both sides of the Ganga, calling out to one and all, "Come, join the camp of Śrī Gauranga, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaho Gauranga, Laho Gaurangar Nam, Jai Jana Gauranga Bhaje, She Hoy Amar Pran." The life, the life of my life is one who has come to take shelter under the direction of my Lord Gauranga. O fallen souls, gather round and beg my Lord Gauranga for his grace. Automatically, you will find yourself in Vrindavan. All the undesirable things within you will be cleared in no time, and unconsciously, your pristine inner self will emerge and find suddenly that it is in the midst of the desired soil, Vrindavan, which is filled with the most wonderful paraphernalia. You will find you are at home, back at home. Get a ticket here in Navadip, and you will quickly reach your home. We will get everything by the most magnanimous heart of Nityananda Prabhu. Heno nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna paite nai, drida kori, thoro nitai pai. Firmly catch the holy feet of Nityananda. All else will come to you automatically. Gauranga will come, and when Gauranga comes, everything comes. Jai. So now here's an excerpt from chapter 4 of Sri Guru and His Grace. This section is called The Original Guru. Okay. And Hare Krishna, Nitai Mukeshji, and Sarveshwari Mataji. Let me just see if anybody else joined here on too many things. Oh, it's here. Okay. Oops. Sorry, guys. Okay. The original spiritual master is Nityananda Prabhu. He is the general representation of Guru. In the spiritual world, he is the Guru Tattva principle in the 4 primary mellows of devotion, excluding the conjugal mellow. In Madhur Ras, Baladev's representation is Ananga Manjari, the sister of Radharani. Actually, I was thinking that I wrote a post recently and I said that Nityananda Prabhu serves in all the rasas, and I was thinking of Ananga Manjari, but I should have been more sensitive, more careful, and wrote it like this. Anyways, doesn't matter. The position of Nityananda is greater than that of Baladev. Why? He is distributing prem, divine love. And what is prem? It is higher than all other achievements. If one can give divine love, then all others must be subordinate to him. If Krishna is subordinate to Mahaprabhu, then of course Balaram is subordinate to Nityananda. They are similar, but when magnanimity is added, Balaram becomes Nityananda. That Balaram who can distribute divine love, who can perform that higher function, has come here as Nityananda. Our foundation must be solid and proper. Then the structure should be erected. Otherwise, the whole thing will go down. Heno nitai bine bhai, Radha Krishna paite nai. We can get a solid foundation from Nityananda Prabhu. One day, Nityananda Prabhu came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house in Mayapur. Mahaprabhu's mother, Shachi Devi, and Vishnupriya Devi, his wife, were also there, as well as other devotees. Suddenly, Nityananda arrived quite naked. Mahaprabhu, my Gurudev also used to say that, quite naked. Krishna would run quite naked. Mahaprabhu managed to give some cloth, and perhaps he was concerned that the devotees might have some misconception about Nityananda Prabhu. So to prevent this, he asked Nityananda Prabhu for his kopin, his loincloth. He tore it up and distributed it, and he distributed it among the householders that were present, instructing them, keep a piece of his loincloth as a kavacha, an amulet, and tie that with a thread to your arm and wear it around your neck. Please keep it with you. Then you'll be able to achieve sense control very soon. Nityananda Prabhu has control of his senses to the extreme degree. He does not know anything of this world. His vairagya, indifference to the world of mundane transaction, is of such a degree that he can appear naked amongst both male and female. So the grace of Nityananda Prabhu will construct a firm foundation for us. If there is a firm foundation, then we may build a great structure over it. If we have faith in Nityananda, then that faith can bear any amount of weight. It won't betray us. This is really nice, huh? If there's the grace of Nityananda Prabhu will construct a firm foundation for us. And if there's a firm foundation, then we may build a great structure over it. If we have faith in Nityananda, then that faith can bear any amount of weight. It won't betray us. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has laid stress amongst the Westerners on devotion to Nityananda. First, we must get his mercy, and then afterwards we can get the mercy of Radha Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means Radha Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. First achieve the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, and then Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and then Sri Radha Govinda. In these three stages, we must raise ourselves up. Then a devotee asks, how does one attain the mercy of Lord Nityananda? Srila Sridhar Goswami Maharaj says, one who finds more inclination to serve Gauranga and his dham, his transcendental land, and his servants, that person can get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda is very much kind to one who has some special tendency towards Gaur Lila. Take the name of Gauranga. Nityananda Prabhu walked from door to door in Bengal saying, take the name of Gauranga. I'll become your servant. You can purchase me if you only take the name of Gauranga. I'll be sold to you without any price or condition. That was his temperament. When Mahaprabhu was in Puri, he sent Nityananda Prabhu to Bengal. At that time, he said, without you, I don't find anyone who could spread the holy name of Krishna or devotional service to Krishna in Bengal. They are more engaged in the tantric method and smriti. They make too much of these trifling things. They are puffed up, thinking that they have finished all knowledge. So Bengal is a very hard field for preaching. Without you, no one will be able to awaken the masses. Separate yourself from the higher castes and approach the masses with the holy name of Krishna. You are the fittest person for this work. Nityananda Prabhu went to Bengal, but without trying to preach the glories of the holy name of Krishna, Nityananda began to preach the name of Gauranga. Nityananda Prabhu found that there is some danger in thinking that Krishna's pastimes are very much akin to the mundane debauchery, lying and stealing of a degraded soul. Krishna's pastimes are of a highly confidential nature. It is very difficult for the masses to understand the purity of Krishna Lila. The mass mind cannot accept Krishna Lila as the highest attainment. So Nityananda Prabhu found it would be difficult to preach Krishna Lila. But he found it would be easy to preach Gaur Lila, where Krishna has come to distribute himself to the public with so much capital in his mind. Gauranga means a dynamo, which wants to distribute Krishna surcharged with the most magnanimous, intensified pity of kindness for the ordinary people, with the greatest affection even for the criminals. Nityananda Prabhu wanted to bring them in connection with Gauranga, for then Krishna Lila would automatically be within their fists. So he began to preach about Gauranga, not Radha Krishna as commanded by Mahaprabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu says, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gauranger Nam. Worship Gauranga, speak only of Gauranga, and chant the name of Gauranga. There's another instance of the relationship between Krishna and Balaram, and Gauranga and Nityananda, which is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Shachi Devi had a dream that Krishna and Balaram were sitting on a throne, and Nityananda was fighting with Balaram. Come down from the throne. It is no longer Dwapara Yuga. The age of Kali has come, and my master Gauranga must occupy your position on this throne. You come down. Balaram began giving some opposition. No, no, why should we come down? We have been sitting on this throne for such a long time. Nityananda began forcibly taking him down, and Balaram submitted slightly. Nityananda said, my master Gauranga wants to take the position now. The age for him has come. So Nityananda is very partial to Gauranga. He says, Krishna is far off. My Lord is Gauranga. So we must be very grateful to Nityananda Prabhu, for he is our Guru. And Guru's grace is so important that Raghunath Das Goswami says, O Radharani, I want your grace. Without you, I don't want Krishna separately. I never want Krishna without you. That should be the healthy attitude of a devotee. This has been explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Guru Rashtak. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasada nagati kutopi, dhyayangstu vangstasya yashastri san. I bow down to the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. By his grace, we achieve the grace of Krishna. Without his grace, we are lost. Therefore, we should always meditate on Sri Gurudev and pray for his mercy. This is the position of Sri Guru, by whose grace we can get everything. We can get the grace of Krishna, and without whose grace, we have no other prospect. So in this way, we must have reverence for he who has given us our first connection with Krishna consciousness. Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshakshita Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Okay, now let's see. Indira Mataji sent me. Oh, 1 second, let me just put this back on restream. And Haribol Puleshwari Didi. Oh, and I forgot to mention Indira Mataji and Raseshwari Mataji Haribol. Okay, so let's check out this file that Indira Mataji sent me. Just need to open it up. This is Krishna Kathamrita Bindu. Which model? 1 second. Where? Oh, there. Okay. Let's take a look at the table of contents. So there is Lord Nityananda's Appearance Day by Srila Prabhupada. Okay, we will definitely read that. Emperor of the Vaishnavas by Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. The Blessings of Nitai from the life of Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Okay. Nitai and the Giant Cobra. Nitai means take this. Oh, let's read that one also. Okay, so let's begin. This is Krishna Kathamrita Bindu, which issue 541, if anybody wants to find this. I haven't read any of these yet. Okay. So this is by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Unreferenced quotes in this article are from Srila Narottam Das Thakur's Prarthana Sang 36, Nitai Parakamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala. Today is the appearance day of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is Baladev, Baladev Tattva. Vrajendra Nandana Jai, Shachi Shuta Hoilo She, Balaram Hoilo Nitai. He who is formerly the son of Nanda Maharaj has appeared as the son of Shachi Devi. Song 4 of Narottam Das Thakur's Prarthana. Okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mother's name was Shachi Devi. Krishna became Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Balaram is Nityananda Prabhu. Balaram means Guru Tattva. Balaram represents Guru. If we want to understand Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if we want to understand Krishna, then we must take shelter of Balaram. Nayam Atma Balahinena Labhya. This Vedic injunction means, without the mercy of Balaram, you cannot understand, you cannot realize your spiritual identification. So Balaram comes as Nityananda Prabhu. Balaram Hoi Lo Nitai. Therefore, we must take shelter of Balaram. Nartam Das Thakur has sung, Nitai Padakamala Koti Chandra Shushitala. If we take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, then we get peace. In the daytime, especially in the hot summer season, we become very exasperated. But in the evening, as soon as there is moonshine, we become very much satisfied. All the day's labor and fatigue is immediately moved. So Nitai Pada Kamala, the shade of Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet, is Koti Chandra Shushitala. It is as pleasing as the shining of 1 crore of moons. The illumination of 1 moon gives us so much pleasure. So, if we want actual peace of mind, if we want to become free from material fatigue, then we must take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is spiritual strength. Without spiritual strength, you cannot approach Krishna. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhya. Even if you're a good speaker, that doesn't mean you'll understand. Namedhaya, neither by good brain. This is from Katha Upanishad 1-23. Don't think that just because you have a very good brain, you'll understand Krishna. No. If you think that because you are a very good scholar, a university degree holder, you'll understand, no, this is not possible. We must have spiritual strength. And the source of spiritual strength is Balaram, Krishna's next manifestation, Krishna's Prakash Vigraha. Krishna is manifesting himself through Balaram. So we have to take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. Nitai Parakamala, Koti Chandra Shushitala, Jai Chayai Jagat Judai. The whole world is suffering. But if you want peace, then you should take the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu. Heno Nitai Bine Bhai, Radha Krishna Paite Nai, Drida Kori Dharo Nitai Pai. One second. Our real aim of life is how to go back home, back to Godhead, and associate with Radha Krishna. In another song, Narottam Das Thakur's Prarthana Song 4, the same author says, Manusha Janamapaya Radha Krishna na bhajiya, Janiya Shuniya Visha Kainu. Unless you come to Radha Krishna, you cannot get real pleasure. If you want to dance and get pleasure, don't dance independently. Dance with Krishna. Then you'll be happy. Just like here in our temple, we are also eating, but we are eating the remnants of foodstuff left by Krishna. That is real pleasure. It is not that we are stopping eating. We are not dry philosophers. Krishna Borodoyamoy, Kori Bare Jiva Joy, Swaprasad Anadhilo Bhai. All over the world, we are eating Krishna Prasadam, and we have got good experience. At least 10,000 men and women, they are daily taking Krishna Prasadam. But we have no anxiety. A family consists of a few members. They are full of anxiety how to maintain the family. Yet we are maintaining a family of 10,000 men. We have no anxiety. We require thousands and thousands of rupees for maintaining our centers in Europe and America. It's a costly affair. But because we are under the shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, Balaram, we have no anxiety. If we want a real solution of the problems, then our duty is first of all to take shelter of Nitai Parakamala. Then we'll be happy, and we'll get the rays of the moon, and our all fatigue will subside. Nitya means always. Ananda means pleasure. This is another meaning you can draw. So if you have connection with Nityananda Prabhu, Se sambandha nahi jar, britta janma gelotar. If you have no connection with Nityananda Prabhu, then you're simply wasting your time. You're wasting time. Britta means useless, uselessly wasting time. And it says janma, your birth was useless. Why did he even take birth? She pashu boro durachar. Das Thakur has used a very strong word. He says anyone who has no connection with Nityananda Prabhu, he is a pashu. Pashu means an animal. How can an animal get happiness? That is not possible. From birth, the dog is searching after food and cannot get food. Unless a dog has a master, he is a street dog and is always unhappy. Better to become a dog of Nityananda Prabhu. Then we shall be happy instead of becoming a dog of so many other people. Yes, we should all want to become Nityananda Prabhu's dog. Everyone is a dog. Everyone is searching after a master to serve. But none of them are satisfied because they are false masters. Take the real master, Nityananda Prabhu. Then you'll be happy. This is a great class. Okay. Our Bhaktivinoda Thakur has sung therefore, Vaishnava Thakur Tomar Kukur Boliya Jana Homore. My dear Vaishnav Thakur, kindly accept me as your dog. I am already a dog, but I am Maya's dog. I am not the dog of a Vaishnav, so kindly accept me. If you become a Vaishnav's dog, then Charya Vaishnava Seva Nistar Payechi Keba. Yes, if I give up the service of the Vaishnavas, how will I gain deliverance? How will I attain deliverance? So Nityananda is Guru. If you do not become a dog of Nityananda Prabhu, the Vaishnavas or Guru, there is no question of happiness. In Sangsar, there cannot be any sukh, there cannot be any happiness. Vidya kule ki kori betar. What will we do with a university education or birth in a big family? These will not help. Ahankare matta hoya nitai pada pasariya asatere satya korimani. On account of being misled by false prestige and false egotism, we are accepting this body, which is asat, which will not exist, but which we have taken as reality. But if we take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, then we will get enlightenment. Today is Nityananda Prabhu's Avirbhav, appearance day. Today, at least, let us remember Nitai Padakamala, the lotus feet of Nityananda Prabhu. That is wanted. Nitai Charana Satya Tahar Sevaka Nitya. Nitai Charan, the lotus feet of Nityananda, are reality. Tahar Sevaka Nitya. Anyone who is a servant, who has become the dog of Nityananda Prabhu, will get eternal life. We should always be under the shelter of Nitai Padakamala. Nartam Das Thakur prays, Narottama Bodo Dukhi. He is presenting himself as Dukhi, as unhappy. That is Ācārya. He is not Dukhi, but he is presenting himself as Dukhi. Ācāryas are never Dukhi, but taking the common man's position, he says, Narottam Bodo Dukhi. Narottam means the best of the human beings. So here in this material world, one may be the best of the human beings. One may have a very exalted position, but everyone is Dukhi, unhappy. Narottam prays, Nitai, more koro sukhi. Only Nityananda can make me happy. Otherwise, it is not possible. Today is Nityananda Prabhu's appearance day. We shall always pray to Nityananda Prabhu. I am very dukhi. I am very unhappy. Rako Ranga Charanirapash. If you kindly keep me under the shelter of your lotus feet, I shall be happy. That is real happiness. Thank you very much. So this is from a lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave in Bhubaneswar, 2nd February 1977. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, so now, what's this? Emperor of the Vaishnavas by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Okay, so this is Chaitanya Bhagavat, Madhya Kanda, chapter 13, verse 255. It says, She Jai Prabhu Tumi Jato Koro Kaj, Jai Nityananda Chandra, Vaishnavadi Raj. All glories to all the activities of the Lord. All glories to Nityananda Chandra, the emperor of the Vaishnavas. And this is the Gaudiya Bhashya of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada. Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu is the emperor of the Vaishnavas. Pure Vaishnavas are always eager to serve the Lord in the mood of separation. By displaying the ideal example of serving Krishna in his pastimes of searching for Krishna, Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu has achieved domination over Lord Gaurasundar. No one has ever distributed such mercy on the Gaudiyas as Śrī Nityananda has in his pastimes of awarding the ecstatic love for Krishna that was distributed by the munificence of Śrī Chaitanya. By his mercy, there is a ray of hope that the living entities of this material world may become qualified for the service of Lord Gaurasundar's intimate associates like Śrī Gadadhar, Śrī Rupa, Śrī Sanatan, Śrī Swarup, and Śrī Raghunath. The activities of relishing the holy names by Vaishnav Adiraj Nityananda, Patyache Nam Hatta Jiver Karan. So the activities of relishing the holy names by Vaishnav Adiraj Nityananda, who has set up a marketplace for distributing the holy names to the living entities, distinguish him as the ācāryas. Okay. Let's see, how long is this? Whoa, interesting. I'm just going to read it. So this is from the life of Srila Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj. This is the blessings of Nitai. One day in the place known as Kulia in Navadvip Dham, one Goswami, along with several persons dressed as Vaishnavas, came to see Srila Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj. The Goswami said, "Oh Baba, for many days I've not been able to have your association. In that time I went to a foreign country." Babaji Maharaj then said, "Why have you gone to a foreign country? If you stay here, there'll be no impediments. Why have you gone to a foreign country to take that type of association?" One associate of the Goswami replied, "He has gone to a foreign country in order to deliver the people there. If he doesn't go to other places, then how will the residents there be able to understand the supreme goal of life?" Hearing this, Babaji Maharaj became very disturbed and said, "If you actually want to uplift the people in other countries, then why don't you accept money from foreigners? I understand your intention. You simply want a nice brick house to live in. If you are at all interested in performing genuine service to the Supreme Lord, then you should give up the understanding that you are the master. Then Nityananda Prabhu will certainly bless you. I will tell him myself that you want 50 brick houses. I will tell him myself that you want 50 brick houses. But if you simply want a nice brick house as a place in which to enjoy your wife and son, then Nityananda Prabhu, fulfilling all those different materialistic desires, will cancel the possibility of your obtaining love of Godhead. If you externally put on a show as if you want to deliver other persons, but internally you are afflicted with prestige and self-aggrandizement, you will become fallen." Srila Gaurkishore Babaji Maharaj then began to loudly perform kirtan and continued all day until dusk. Srila Babaji Maharaj made it evident that if one becomes offensive unto the name of Krishna or becomes offensive in one's service, then the fruits of one's bhajan will simply be religious activities, accumulation of wealth, and fulfillment of lusty desires. This is the most degraded. One second. Hey, where did it go? This is the most degraded misfortune. Oh yeah, this is the most degraded misfortune. Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, in the form of Guru, fulfills the desires of those who are deceitful. Wow, to be careful, very careful. That's from Amar Prabhupada Katha, a collection of articles written by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. Okay, let's read the one by Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj. There's Nitai and the giant cobra. Okay, yeah, let's read this. Nitai and the giant cobra. Okay. Now, Shishimad Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj. Today we observe the holy appearance day of Patit Pavan Śrī Nityananda Prabhu, whose mercy is limitless. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur has sung, Nitai Amar Dayaraya Badhi. We're putting this song in the songbook also. Abadhi means limit. If there's any limit, then Nitai's mercy is the last limit. There is no mercy greater than it. If you get to the mercy of Nitai, then who can estimate what will happen to you? If someone is ill-fated, he has such bad luck that he cannot do bhajan of Nitai, then what is his position? Nitai na bhulila muke majilo sangsar suke. If one is not uttering the name of Nitai, if he is not begging for the mercy of Nitai, not serving Nitai, then he is engaged in this sangsar sukh, material enjoyment. Then She Pashu Boro Durachar. He is a Pashu, a stool-eating animal. From Dwapara Yuga. I offer my obeisances to that Nityananda Ram. Nityananda is Ananta, unlimited. In his Bala Leela, in his boyhood pastimes, his father's name was Harai Oja, and his mother's name was Padmavati. The name of the village he appeared in is Ekachakra Gram. If you go to Navadip, you may visit there. A few years after Nityananda's birth, another son was born to Harai Oja, and Padmavati. Another son was born to Harai Oja and Padmavati, whom they call Banka Rai. Banka means crooked in 3 places. Shamasundar Tribhanga Lalita. Rai means Radharani. So Banka Rai means Shamasundar and Radharani mixed. Sham and Radharani mixed are Gaur. In their boyhood days, these 2 brothers played in the village of Ekachakra. There is a river that flows close to that village called the Yamunadi. What is it? Yamuna Nadi. In their boyhood, in their boyhood days, they were performing various leelas, Krishna leelas and Rama leelas. One day, these 2 brothers went to Mayureshwar, the place of their maternal grandfather, and were about to enter into a jungle situated close to the village. Some villager said, "Don't go there. In that jungle is a very great venomous cobra. Anyone who goes there never returns. The cobra devours him." Nityananda didn't listen, and the 2 brothers entered the jungle. There they came across that great cobra staying underneath a tamal tree. Raising his hood and hissing, he came out. But Nityananda, who was Ananta Shesh, come on. But Nityananda was not at all disturbed or afraid. He raised his hand and said, "Hey, stupid rascal, stay right there. Who are you? Why are you persecuting innocent animals and human beings?" Nityananda Prabhu is himself Nagaraj Ananta, the king of all snakes. So when he said to stop, when he said to stop, the king of all snakes, that great cobra stopped. Then the snake related his history from Dwapara Yuga. Pandavas and Ekachakra. The eldest son of Dhritarashtra, Duryodhan, was a very crooked person. He had a house made of lac, and somehow he got the 5 Pandav brothers and their mother inside, with the intention to burn them to ashes. But Krishna protected them, and they escaped unhurt. The Pandavas were kshatriyas, but at that time they disguised themselves as Brahmins and were wandering about. They came to the village of Ekachakra and were staying with their mother Kunti in a house of a poor Brahmin named uh, Vedashrai. The Mahabharata mentions that at first the Pandavas were staying at the place near Ekachakra. That place still exists today and is called Pandavatala. Vyasadeva met the Pandavas there. He told them to stay for 1 month in Ekachakra in the house of the Brahmin Vedashrai. Although Vedashrai was a poor Brahmin, he spared half of his house for the Pandavas, while where is it? In the other half, he and his wife, their son and daughter stayed. He was very poor. Every day he would go out and beg alms. He had nothing in his house. Some demons were coming to the village and creating disturbances, eating human beings and animals. One such demon was named Bakasura, not to be confused with the demon Krishna killed in Vraj. So one demon named Bakasura was terrorizing everyone in the village. To stop his unexpected random attacks on the innocent people and animals, they offered to each day give him one human being and a quantity of food. In this way, he would not be troubled trying to find his meal. That's a lot. Every single day, a human, 365 humans to eat a year. In this way, he would not be troubled trying to find his meal. In exchange, he agreed not to attack any of the villagers or their animals. To provide for Bakasura's means, the villagers would each take turns providing him one human being and a quantity of food. There were so many people in the village that each home would only have to pay this tribute once in many years. There was a schedule worked out as to who would have to go, and the village drummer would daily announce whose turn had come to feed Bakasura. My God, that's pretty the dreadful village drummer. While the Pandavas were still staying there disguised as Brahmins, 4 of them would go out every day to collect alms, while the 5th one would stay at home with Mother Kunti. One day, Bhima was staying back with his mother. On that day, the village drummer came, beat his drum, and proclaimed, "Tomorrow, the turn of Vedashrai Brahman has come for Bakasura Pali. He will go to Bakasura." When they heard this, the Brahman and his wife felt great anxiety. They had nothing in their house. So how could they arrange to feed this demon? Oh, not only did they have to offer himself to be eaten, but they also had to arrange the food items. My God, that's intense. So how could they didn't have anything to feed the demon. So how could they arrange to feed? Yeah, how could they arrange to feed him? Somehow the Brahmin got something from his begging. And his wife, my God, he went out begging for for Bakasura, and then he had to also be eaten by him as well. Somehow the Brahmin got something from his begging, and his wife went to her father's house and collected something. So they had enough for Bakasura's food. But the problem was that one human being had to be sent to Bakasura to eat. Who would go? There were 4 persons in the family, the Brahmin and his wife, a 10-year-old son whose name was Vidyadhar, and an 8-year-old daughter named Bhanumati. The Brahmin said, "I'll go." When he said this, his son Vidyadhar said, "No, no, I'll go." When the son said this, they all cried. Hearing the sound of crying, Kunti ran there and asked them, "What has happened to you? Why are you crying?" They told her everything. Kunti understood, so she said, "Don't worry. You have only 1 son, but I have 5 sons. I'll send one. I'll send my son Bhima to him." Kunti knew how strong Bhima was, how Bhima could easily kill the demon. "Don't worry," she said. "You have helped us." Oh yeah, because they're disguised as Brahmins, so they couldn't let them. Yeah. Don't worry, she said. "You have helped us in a time of misfortune. So now in your time of distress, I must help you." Kunti called her son and said, "Bhima, they are crying because their son wants to go for the food of the demon Bakasura. He should not go. You go." They helped us when we were in calamity. Now in their moment of danger, we must help them. Bhima became very happy and said, "All right, I'll go." Killing Bakasura. The food arranged for Bakasura was a huge amount. It consisted of 5,120 mounds of cooked rice, one cartload, huh? Yeah, 5,120,000 mounds. Wow, that's a lot for that Brahmin to collect. One cartload of a cake called mandapita, one pair of buffalo pulling the cart, and one human being. Oh, so the buffalo pulling the cart also had to be eaten. Bhima said, "Very nice food for me today. Such a large amount of rice and a cartload of mandapita. Wow. Finally, I have enough to eat." Finally, I'll have enough to eat. I guess Bhima never has enough to eat. I'll eat all this and kill the demon. Isn't Bhima's name Vrikodhara, who has a ferocious stomach? So Bhima was very happy. He rode on the cart eating the mandapita, calling out, "Hey, Dushta Rakshas, stupid rascal, come out! Come out!" Bakasura came and saw that someone was eating his food and calling him names. He thought, "Who is this?" Bakasura, "Who is this?" Bakasura uprooted some big trees and threw them at Bhima. Then Bhima did what? Shoot, I just lost my spot. One second. Okay. Then Bhima did the same, uprooting big trees and throwing them back. There was very fierce fighting, and at last Bhima killed the demon. Then he prepared to return to his mother. In the meantime, Arjuna came back from begging and saw that Bhima wasn't there. He asked, "Mother, where is Bhima?" Mother Kunti told him everything, how Bhima had gone to Bakasura. Arjuna thought, "Brother Bhima will be fighting alone with the demon. He may be facing trouble. I must go and help him." He told Mother Kunti, "You please stay. The other brothers are coming within a short time. I'm going to help Bhima." Seeing the marks of the cartwheels, Arjuna started up the road. Halfway there, he thought, "It's going to take time to get there. Bhima is facing great trouble, so what shall I do?" Thinking like this, he decided to shoot his Nagapash Astra, the snake arrow. He told the snake, "You go and bind up that demon Bakasura." Arjuna then continued, and on the way he met Bhima and heard from him that the great demon was already killed. Arjuna told him, um, "You go back to mother. I have sent this cobra arrow and the snake may be moving about there. And the snake may be moving about there. He may bite someone and create some disturbance. I'm going to settle him up." Arjuna went there, saw the snake, and said, "All right, cobra, you stay here underneath this tamal tree." The cobra said, I'm not going to do a cobra voice. Very, no. Very well, I'll stay here. But how can I survive? What will be my food? Make some arrangement for me to eat. Arjuna said, "Don't leave this tamal tree. If by chance someone comes to you, you can devour him. But don't go out and bother anyone." So then the cobra told Nitai, "I have been following Arjuna's instruction in that way ever since." For like 5,000 years. Why is it not letting me zoom? Okay, okay. The cobra, yeah, I have been following Arjuna's instruction in that way ever since. Nitai instructed him, "You should not do this anymore. You're killing innocent animals and human beings. This is not good. Stay in this hole and don't come out. Remain inside there under this tamal tree. Don't hurt anyone." The cobra said, "How can I survive? What will I eat?" Nityananda said, "People will come to offer worship to you. They will offer so much food to you." Obeying the order of Nityananda Prabhu, that great cobra remained inside the hole. Then Nityananda Prabhu took off one of his earrings, put it over the opening of that hole, covering it. So from that day, Nityananda has only one earring, Ekka Kundal, not two. The earring he placed over the hole gradually increased in size. Now it is turned into a big block of stone, and people have built a small temple over it. That place is still there, and it is known as Kundalatala. People go there, worship the cobra, and offer him much food. Cool. I've um I've been to that place a few times, but I never had such. I wish I had this story to read when I was there. I mean, this explanation by Srila Govinda Goswami. I just like had like a paragraph or something on the topic. Okay, so and there's one short thing here. Srila Govinda Goswami says, "Nitai means take this." So there's no difference between the name of Krishna and Krishna himself. Eka Tattva, one Tattva. Krishna Tattva and Nam Tattva. He is Anadi, without beginning, and Chinmoy, transcendental. He is not material, and Chintamani, whatever desire you cherish, the name will give you. All right, take this, take this. Nitai, Nitai, take this. Ne means take, and this name means take this. Nitai. Very cool. I've never heard that before. Nitai means take this. All right. So, what time is it? It's now 8 o'clock. If anybody needs to go, Dandavat pranams. If anybody wants to stay longer, then what's something, something really fun to read? Haribol Vidilala Sadidi Vangsiwala Prabhu and Brinda Didi Haribol. Something fun to read is um in Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's a chapter with Nityananda Prabhu going out with all the Dwarash Gopals, the the 12 cowherd associates of Nityananda Prabhu, and yeah, it's such a fun chapter. But I have to see which chapter it is in Chaitanya Bhagavat. If anybody remembers, let me know. Um, one second. Um, where is it? Is it chapter 15? No, chapter 6 or 5 of Antya Lila? Okay, this is a summary by Srila Bhakti Puri Goswami Maharaj of the chapter. Let's see if it goes. Hmm, this doesn't seem to be it. I mean, this does have some. Maybe this is it. Wait, it says. Sorry, guys. Just Śrī Nityānanda and his associates went to the village of Saptagram, took bath there. Anyhow, let's see. What maybe it's this one, chapter 6. I don't know. Anyways, let's just try chapter 5. So this is Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Wait, what's the story here? Okay, this is a summary. Um, One day in Nilachal, Sriman Mahaprabhu called Nityananda to a solitary place, and while discussing with him about the preaching of pure devotional service in Bengal, the Lord sent Nityananda along with his associates to Bengal to fulfill his mission there. During their journey to Bengal, the eternally perfect Vraj associates of Baladev Nityananda manifested their self-evident sentiments of Vraj. Yeah, I think this is it. Then Sri Nityananda went to the house of Raghav Pandit in Panihati, where Nityananda heard a kirtan performed by the expert kirtan leader Madhav Ghosh and became absorbed in wonderful ecstatic love. As Śrī Nityānanda-kathā climbed on the throne of the Lord Vishnu, the devotees headed by Raghav Pandit performed the Lord's Abhishek ceremony. When Nityananda Prabhu ordered Raghav Pandit to quickly bring a garland of kadamba flowers, Raghav Pandit saw that by the will of Śrī Nityananda, once again, oh, somebody just sent me a message. Anyways, when Nityananda ordered Raghav Pandit to quickly bring a garland of kadamba flowers, Raghav Pandit saw that by the will of Nityananda, many kadamba flowers had blossomed out of season, in the lime tree. Kadamba flowers bloomed in the lime tree situated in his courtyard. Raghav Pandit prepared a garland from those kadamba flowers and offered it to Nityananda. Shortly thereafter, the 10 directions were suddenly filled with the aroma of Damanaka flowers. And Nityananda explains that Sri Gaurasundar had put on a garland of Damanaka flowers and come from Nilachal to hear the kirtan. Then Nityananda and his associates all manifested transformations of ecstatic love. Śrī Nityananda stayed in Panihati for 3 months and exhibited various pastimes of devotional service. Lord Nityananda used to decorate his body with various ornaments. Along with his associates, Nityananda visited the houses of the devotees situated on both sides of the Ganga. The children were showered with his mercy. Let's read all this. Let's read this from Chaitanya Bhagavat. I think this might. What's a key word to find this section? I'm just going to type in Raghav Pandit. Raghava. This is, sorry guys, I should have done this before. I didn't get around to it. I'm just finding where this part starts with Nityananda and his associates. Okay. After staying a few days at Srivasa's house, the Lord went to Raghava's house in Panihati. While Sri Raghav Pandit was engaged in the worship of Krishna, Sri Gaurasundar came there before him. When Raghav Pandit saw the Lord of his life, he fell to the ground and offered obeisances. He cried in ecstasy as he firmly grabbed the Lord's lotus feet, which are cherished by Rama, the goddess of fortune. And the Lord then embraced Raghav Pandit and soaked his body with tears of ecstatic love. Raghav's body was filled with such ecstasy that he didn't know what he should do. When the Lord of Vaikuntha saw Raghava's display of devotion, he glanced mercifully on Raghava. The Lord said, "After coming to Raghava's house and seeing Raghava, I have forgotten all my troubles. I have obtained the same satisfaction at Raghava's house as one gets by taking bath in the Ganga." The Lord smiled and said, "Listen, Raghav Pandit, go quickly and cook for Krishna." Sri Raghav was greatly pleased to receive the Lord's order, and he became absorbed in the mellows of ecstasy as he went to cook. Following the dictates of his heart, that Brahmin cooked unlimited varieties of food. Mahaprabhu then came with Nityananda and other associates to eat. Gaurachandra, the husband of Lakshmi, lavishly praised each of the vegetable preparations as he ate. The Lord said, "How wonderful is Raghava's cooking! I have never eaten shak like this before." Raghav knew that the Lord was fond of shak, so he had cooked various kinds of shak. After joyfully finishing his meal, the Lord washed his hands and mouth and sat down. As soon as Gadadhar Das heard that Sri Gaurasundar was at Raghava's house, he quickly came here. And isn't Gadadhar Das is one of the associates of Nityananda Prabhu, always travels in it, but he's in the mood of a gopi. And isn't he the effulgence, the Kanti of Srimati Radhika, like the embodiment of Srimati Radhika's effulgence? I think so. Um, Gadadhar Das was extremely dear to the Lord. His body was filled with the happiness of devotional service. When the Lord saw the fortunate Gadadhar, he placed his lotus feet on his head. At that time, Purandar Pandit and Parameshwari Das, in whose deity Gaurachandra manifests himself, quickly came there. On seeing the Lord, they both cried in ecstasy. And isn't Purandar Pandit Parameshwari, aren't they also associates of Nityananda Prabhu? I think so. I think they're like the Dwadash Gopals. I have to see the list of the Dwadash Gopals. Actually, maybe I'll just do that right now. Um, who are the Dwadasha Gopals? Let's see. Okay, so here's the Dwadash Gopals. Here it is. Okay, on Wikipedia. Um, okay, so Nityananda Prabhu's 12 associates, the 12 Gopals, is Abhiram or Ramdas Abhiram, Udharan Datta, Kamalakar Pipalai, Kala Krishnadas, Goridas Pandit, Parameshwari Das. See, I was right. Parameshwari Das. Dhananjay Pandit, Purushottam Datta, or Purushottam Das, Mahesh Pandit, Sridhar, and Sundarananda Thakur. Okay, so Purandar isn't one of them, but Parameshwari Das is. Raghunath Vaidya also came at that time. He was a great Vaishnav with unlimited good qualities. In this way, Vaishnavas came from wherever, in this way, Vaishnavas came from wherever they were, to meet the Lord. The village of Panihati became filled with ecstasy, for Lord Gaurachandra was personally present there. Sri Gaurasundar spoke some confidential topics to Raghav Pandit in a solitary place. O Raghav, I have something confidential to tell you. Nityananda is none different from me. I tell you, I do whatever Nityananda wants me to do. I tell you frankly that all my activities are performed through Nityananda. Sorry, just seeing my WhatsApp message. There's no difference between myself and Nityananda. Everyone in your house will come to know this. Jai Ami, Shri Nityananda, Bhedanai. From Nityananda, you will easily obtain that which is rarely obtained by the best of the mystic yogis. Therefore, you should very carefully serve Nityananda, knowing him to be the Supreme Lord himself. Then Sri Gauranga then said to Makara Dwajakara, you should serve Sri Raghavananda. Know for certain that your love for me will be shown by your love for Raghav Pandit. In this way, Lord Gauranga made the village of Panihati glorious by staying there a few days. Thereafter, the Lord went to Varahanagar and stayed at the house of one most fortunate Brahman. That place is still there, Patpadi. Been there a few times. No, I've only been there once. But it's in Kolkata. If you're ever in Kolkata, it's Varahanagar is part of Kolkata. Um, okay, then Mahaprabhu in great ecstasy, everyone um, moving Jagannath has now, yeah. Mahaprabhu then arrived back in Nilachal, Sachala Jagannath. The Lord embraced everyone with great affection, soaked them with tears. Everybody in Puri. Mahaprabhu danced at the house of Kashi Mishra. I want the associates of Nityananda Prabhu. Let's see. This is a long chapter. Okay. Um, Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to type in Nityananda. Let's see what comes up. Okay. I'm on verse 216 of chapter 5 of the Antyakanda. Nityananda Prabhu was most independent and effulgent. He wandered all over Nilachal. He was always intoxicated by the mellows of transcendental ecstasy. No one could understand his incomprehensible glories. He constantly chanted the name of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Even in his dream, he would not speak anything else. Nitai's love for Lord Chaitanya was like the love and attachment Lakshman had for Ramachandra. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the entire world is now singing the glories of Lord Chaitanya. In this way, the two brothers, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nitai, lived there at Nilachal. One day, Sri Gaurasundar, the Supreme Lord in the form of a human being, sat down with Nityananda in a solitary place. The Lord said, "Listen, O magnanimous Nityananda, go quickly to Navadvip. I have personally promised to inundate the fools, the fallen, and the poor in the happiness of ecstatic love. If you also remain silent like a Muni and renounce your magnanimous nature, then tell me, who will deliver the fools and the wretched souls who have fallen into material life? You are the distributor of the mellows of devotional service. If you hide them, then what is the use of your incarnation in this world? Now, if you wish to fulfill my promise, then you should go to Bengal without delay. Deliver the foolish, wretched, fallen, and distressed persons by giving them devotional service." Having received the Lord's order, Nityananda Chandra immediately left for Gauradesh with his associates. Nityananda Swarup was accompanied by his intimate associates, such as Ramdas, Gadadhar Das Mahashaya, Raghunath Vaidya, who is filled with the mellows of devotional service, Krishna Das Pandit, Parameshwari Das, and the most jubilant Purandar Pandit. Oh, so Purandar was like an associate of Nityananda Prabhu. Okay. As they began their journey, Lord Nityananda first bestowed ecstatic love on all his associates. As a result, they completely forgot themselves. There was no end to the ecstatic symptoms that manifest in their bodies. The topmost Vaishnav Ramdas was the first to manifest the mood of a cowherd boy. Somewhere on the way, Ramdas forgot the external world and stood for 9 hours in a threefold bending form. Wow, for 9 hours he stood in a threefold bending form. Gadadhar Das became absorbed in the mood of Radhika. He loudly laughed and said, "Who will buy yogurt? Dadi ke kinibe bole atta atta hase." The Gaudiya Bhashya says that, Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's Gaudiya Bhashya, he says, being absorbed in the mood of a gopi, Sri Gadadhar Das began to laugh loudly and ask, "Who will buy yogurt?" Foolish people without understanding the true meaning of the word bhav end up becoming saki bekis. We all know saki bekis, right? Thinking that it refers to the external dress and ornaments. This type of degradation of the living entities results from external knowledge. This is an impediment to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. The most magnanimous Raghunath Vaidya Upadhyaya became fully absorbed in the mood of Revati. Krishna, should I read the? No, I'm not going to. Then Krishnadas and Parameshwari Das would always raise a loud uproar in the mood of cowherd boys. What does it say? It says, "Hoi hoi kore." Krishnadas Parameshwari Das Duijan Gopal Bhave Hoi hoi kore anukan. They would do hoi hoi. That means a loud uproar, I guess. So both Parameshwari Das and Krishnadas were servants of Śrī Nityānanda Prabhu. Therefore, it should be understood that the Gopal Bhav mentioned herein refers to the mood found in the 12 cowherd boys of Vraj and not as found in Gopal Krishna. Okay. Purandar Pandit would climb a tree and jump from it, declaring, "I am Angad." In this way, Nityananda, the origin of Ananta, aroused all of the devotees' transcendental sentiments. Within half an hour, they would cover 4 to 8 miles. They did not know whether they were going left or right. After some time, they would ask people, "Oh, brothers, tell us, how can we reach the Ganga?" Those people would reply, "Hi, hi, hot pasharilo, dui praher pat firia aila." The people would say, "Alas, you have taken the wrong path. You have come 6 hours away from the proper path." After hearing their words, after hearing their words, they would return to the right path. But then they would go in the wrong direction as before. They were just constantly going in the wrong direction, walking like 8 hours in the wrong direction. Puna pata jigasa koroe lokostane loko bole patorohe dash kroshobame. Again, they would ask some people who would reply, "The proper path is 20 miles to the left." They then laughed and went again towards the proper path. They were not even aware of their own bodies, so what to speak of the road? I love that. They're just all day getting lost and going the wrong direction and then going, oops, and then laughing and then going the wrong direction again. They did not feel any bodily urges like hunger, thirst, fear, or distress, for they were all relishing transcendental happiness. Parananda Sukh. Who can know or describe all the pastimes that Nityananda performed on the way? They were all unlimited. Or it could also mean only Ananta can know and describe them. In this way, Nityananda, the origin of Lord Ananta, came to the village of Panihati on the bank of the Ganga. He first went to Raghav Pandit's house, where he stayed along with all his associates. Raghav Pandit, Shri Makar Dwajakar, and their families became greatly pleased. In this way, Nityananda stayed with his associates in the village of Panihati. He would constantly roar loudly in ecstasy, and he was always overwhelmed with no sign of external consciousness. When he felt the desire to dance, all the singers quickly gathered around him. The most pious Madhav Ghosh was expert in performing kirtan. There is no kirtan leader like him in the entire world. He was known as the singer of Vrindavan, and he was most dear to Nityananda Swarup. Madhav, Vasudev, and Govinda were three brothers. When they began to sing, Lord Nityananda would dance. The most powerful Avadut would dance in such a way that the earth would sway under the weight of his feet. He would always chant the name of Hari and roar loudly. People would be struck with wonder on seeing him forcefully fall to the ground. Anyone who received his glance as he was dancing would fall to the ground in ecstatic love. Nityananda, who was filled with the mellows of ecstatic love, he was prema rasamoy. He now began his auspicious task of delivering the entire world. He manifested all of the various transformations of loving devotional service as he danced wonderfully. After some time, he sat down on the deity throne and instructed the devotees to perform Abhishek. Raghav Pandit and the Lord's other associates immediately began to perform Abhishek. They brought thousands of pots filled with Ganga water, mixed with various scented oils. Everyone happily poured water on his head as they all chanted the name of Hari in the four directions. They all chanted the mantras and songs that were appropriate for Abhishek, and everyone's hairs stood on end as they became filled with great satisfaction. After completing the Abhishek, they dressed Nityananda in new cloth and smeared his body with sandalwood pulp. They decorated his broad chest with garlands of forest flowers and tulsi leaves. Oh wait, it says my Mac will fall asleep soon. I have 10. Okay, I'm gonna plug in my computer. Well, I'll just read a little bit more. They decorated his broad chest with garlands of forest flowers and tulsi leaves. Then they brought an opulent throne, decorated with gold, and placed it before him. As Lord Nityananda sat on the throne, Sri Raghavananda held an umbrella over his head. All the devotees began to chant, Jai, Jai. Musical instruments produced ecstatic vibrations in the four directions. Everyone raised their arms and exclaimed, "Save us! Save us! Trahi, trahi." They were in such ecstasy that they forgot themselves. In his own ecstatic mood, Lord Nityananda Prabhu showered everyone in the four directions with ecstatic love by his merciful glance. He ordered, "Listen, Raghav Pandit, quickly bring me a garland of Kadamba flowers. I am very fond of Kadamba flowers. In fact, I always reside in a Kadamba forest." With folded hands, Raghavananda said, "This is not the season for Kadamba flowers." The Lord then said, "Go home and look carefully. There may be some blooming somewhere." Raghav went inside the house and was struck with wonder at what he saw. He saw that the lime tree was filled with the most amazing blooming Kadamba flowers. How wonderful was the color and fragrance of those flowers! All one's material bondage was destroyed by seeing those flowers. When Raghav Pandit saw those Kadamba flowers, he lost external consciousness and became filled with jubilation. He then checked his emotions and quickly prepared a garland, which he brought to Nityananda Prabhu. I need to plug in my computer. Should I move over there? Will that come over here? Ah, perfect. Thanks, Jeff. 1 second, guys. Just sorry, I have so many things plugged in. That thing. Perfect. That works. Oh, that's okay. This works. That perfect. Thanks. Okay. Um, when Lord Nityananda saw the garland of Kadamba flowers, he accepted it with great satisfaction. All the Vaishnavas became overwhelmed on seeing that wonderful incident and on smelling the sweet fragrance of that Kadamba garland. Shortly thereafter, another most wonderful incident took place. Everyone smelled the wonderful fragrance of Damanaka flowers. The fragrance of Damanaka flowers enchanted everyone's mind. All 10 directions were filled with that fragrance. Nityananda smiled and said, "Oh, brothers, tell me, do you smell something?" Everyone folded their hands and said, "We smell the wonderful fragrance of Damanaka flowers in the 4 directions." On hearing their words, Lord Nityananda mercifully revealed the secret behind this. Nityananda said, "Listen to this most confidential topic. All of you should understand this. Lord Chaitanya came today from Nilachal to hear the kīrtana. His body was decorated with a divine garland of Damanaka flowers, and he stayed here for a while leaning against one tree. The 4 directions were filled with the divine fragrance of the Damanaka flowers that were decorating his body. The Lord personally came from Nilachal to see you all dance and chant in kirtan. Therefore, you should give up all other engagements and absorb yourselves in the constant glorification of Lord Chaitanya. May all of you become filled with the mellows of ecstatic love by constantly glorifying Sri Krishna Chaitanya Chandra." After speaking these words, Nityananda loudly chanted the name of Hari. He then cast his love-filled glance in all the directions. By the love-filled glance of Nityananda Swarup, they all forgot themselves. Oh, brothers, hear about the power of Nityananda and how he distributed devotional service throughout the entire world. The devotion of the gopis described in Srimad Bhagavatam was awarded to the people of the world by Nityananda. As Nityananda was sitting on the throne, all of his associates danced before him. Some climbed out on the branch of a tree and walked on the leaves. Yet he did not fall. Someone roared loudly in ecstatic love and jumped down from the top of a tree. Someone roared loudly as he grabbed the root of a tree and then uprooted it while chanting the name of Hari. Someone ran into a betel nut forest, grabbed 5 or 7 trees and uprooted them together. Of course, these are fortunate trees to be uprooted by Nityananda's associates. They probably all went immediately to Vaikuntha. His body was filled with such powerful, ecstatic love that he uprooted those trees as if they were blades of grass, these associates of Nityananda. Nityananda Swarup's ecstatic love was so powerful that everyone's body became filled with the transformations of ecstatic love for Krishna described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, such as crying, shivering, being stunned, perspiring, hair standing on end, shouting loudly, voice choking, turning pale, thundering, roaring like a lion, and falling unconscious in ecstasy. There was an intense shower of ecstatic devotional love in whatever direction Lord Nityananda cast his glance. Whoever he looked at lost consciousness in ecstatic love and rolled on the ground, forgetting his cloth. As someone tried to catch hold of Nityananda Swarup's feet, Nityananda sat on the throne and smiled. All the principal associates of Nityananda were fully empowered. They became omniscient, and whatever they spoke came true. Their features resembled those of Cupid. Gaudiya Bhashya. The principal devotees of Nityananda became filled with various potencies and began to display many wonderful feats. They were omniscient, which is rare among human beings. Their words came true, and their bodies manifest beautiful features. Anyone who was touched by their hands forgot everything and became overwhelmed with ecstasy. In this way, Nityananda Prabhu relished devotional service for 3 months in the village of Panihati. For 3 months, no one manifests external consciousness. They did not feel even the slightest urge on the body. None of them ate anything for 3 months. They did nothing other than dance in the happiness of ecstatic love. The happiness of ecstatic love that manifests in the village of Panihati will be described in the 4 Vedas. Who has the ability to describe all the pastimes that Nityananda performed in half an hour? And he was there for 3 months. What to speak of half an hour? Nityananda passed every moment dancing in ecstasy in the midst of his associates. Sometimes he would sit in the Virasana posture and have the devotees dance one after another before him. The dancing of each devotee was so sublime that the 4 directions became filled with a flood of ecstatic love. Prem Banyamoy. In the happiness of ecstatic love, everyone would fall to the ground like banana trees falling in a great storm. All the devotees did whatever Lord Nityananda asked them to do. He would induce all the devotees to constantly perform Sankirtan as inaugurated by Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He began to manifest such ecstatic love that anyone who came to watch became overwhelmed. Wherever any servant desired something, he would immediately receive it. In this way, they were all absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love that those 3 months seemed to like only a moment. E mataparananda premaras sukarase kona henor keho na janilo tinamase. After some days, Nityananda Prabhu desired to decorate himself with some ornaments. As soon as that desire awoke in him, all varieties of ornaments appeared there. Pious people offered their obeisances and gave Nityananda attractive ornaments made of gold, silver, various precious stones like diamonds, emeralds, and corals, fine silk cloth, and pearl necklaces. He then decorated himself with ornaments that had already been made and others that were made according to his own desire. According to his own desire, he decorated his 2 wrists and arms with gold bracelets and armlets. He decorated his 10 fingers with gold rings studded with jewels. He decorated his neck with many varieties of fine necklaces made of diamonds, pearls, and corals. For the pleasure of Maheshwar, he wore a gold and silver necklace set with rudraksha and cat's eye gems. His 2 ears were beautified by gold earrings studded with pearls. His lotus feet were adorned with silver ankle bells, with an enchanting band of silver above them. He was dressed in varieties of white, blue, and yellow silk cloth. In this way, he looked wonderfully attractive. Flower garlands of malati, malika, yuti, and champak swung to and fro on his attractive chest. He smeared his body with fragrant sandalwood paste mixed with gorochana. His head was decorated with varieties of silk cloth with varieties of flower garlands on top. His pleasing face defeated the beauty of millions of moons. He smiled as he constantly chanted the name of Hari. And whatever direction his lotus eyes glanced, there was a shower of ecstatic love that inundated everyone. There was a prema varsha, a shower of love. Just as Lord Haladar held a club, Nityananda always held in his hand a beautiful iron rod that looked as if it were silver, and that was bound on 2 sides with gold. His associates decorated themselves with various ornaments like bracelets, bangles, leg bands, ankle bells, beautiful necklaces, buffalo horns, sticks, flutes, ropes, and garlands of gunja, small red and black seeds, for they were all expansions of the cowherd boys of Raj. In this way, Nityananda enjoyed his own ecstatic mood as he sported in the company of his associates. The Lord then took his associates to the house of various devotees. The most effulgent Nityananda visited each of the villages on both sides of the Ganga. All living entities became astonished when they saw him. The most blissful Nityananda is the combined form of the holy name and form of the Supreme Lord. Let's just look at the Bengali here. It says, Darashana matra sarva jiva mukta hoy, nam tattva dui Nityananda rasamoy. Okay. Even the atheists who saw him offered him respects and considered offering everything to him. The body of Nityananda Sarup was most enchanting. He glanced mercifully on everyone. When he was eating, sleeping, or wandering about, he did not waste a moment without Sankirtan. Wherever he performed dancing and congregational glorification of Krishna, many people became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Even the householders' children who did not know anything, oh my God, even the householders' children who did not know anything uprooted large trees. They roared loudly, uprooted trees, and ran around exclaiming, I am a cowherd boy! Muire Gopal! Each boy possessed such strength that even 100 people were unable to control him. The children would joyfully roar like lions and call out, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Jai, Nityananda! All glories to Shri Krishna Chaitanya and Nityananda. In this way, Nityananda, the life and soul of all children, the Balak Jivan, overwhelmed those children with ecstatic love. Vival korite lagilen shishugan. For 1 month, those children did not eat anything. People became struck with wonder on seeing this. All the devotees became overwhelmed with ecstatic love, and Nityananda became the children's sole protector. The Lord would feed the children with his own hands as if they were his children. He would sometimes bind one of them and keep him nearby. He'd bind one of the children and keep him nearby. Although he beat them and bound them, although he beat the children and bound them, they would laugh loudly. Gaudiya Bhashya says, Śrī Nityānanda indiscriminately distributed his affection to the children. Sometimes he'd feed them, and sometimes he'd display the pastime of tying them up to stop their mischief. Everyone was satisfied by their behavior. The children accepted him as Baladev, and themselves as cowherd boys subordinate to personalities like Sridham. Okay, what time is it? It's 8:43. Maybe we should start singing kirtans now. Um, okay, let's read a little bit about Gadadhar Das, because we haven't even gotten halfway in this chapter. But one day Nityananda went to the house of Gadadhar Das to bestow mercy on him. Gadadhar Das Mahashaya was fully absorbed in ecstatic love in the mood of a gopi. He held a pot of Ganga water on his head and continuously called out, Ke kinibe goras, who wants to buy milk? There was a most enchanting deity of Sri Bal Gopal in his temple. When Nityananda saw that enchanting deity of Bal Gopal, he affectionately embraced the deity to his chest. When everyone saw Sri Bal Gopal on the chest of Ananta, they began to loudly chant the name of Hari. The great wrestler Nityananda roared loudly and began to dance in the mood of a cowherd boy. Then Madhavananda Ghosh sang about the Dan Lila, and the lion like Avadut became greatly satisfied. The voice of the fortunate Madhav was so sweet that the crest jewel of Avaduts became absorbed in ecstasy. In the happiness of his own ecstatic love, Nityananda enjoyed such pastimes with the fortunate Sri Gadadhar Das. Gadadhar Das had no external consciousness, for he was absorbed in the mood of a gopi and always considered himself to be a gopi. When Lord Nityananda heard topics of the Dan Lila, he danced in a way that is beyond description. He displayed all the transformations of ecstatic love as he danced incomparably. As he danced, the movement of his bodily limbs appeared like lightning. How wonderful was the movement of his arms! How wonderful was the movement of his eyes! How beautiful was his smile, and how wonderful was the swaying of his head! How wonderfully he jumped about, keeping his two beautiful feet together! The men and women, in whatever direction Nityananda cast his love-filled glance, all floated in the mellows of love for Krishna. His glance was filled with such mercy that everyone forgot their own bodies in ecstasy. By Nityananda's mercy, anyone and everyone relished the devotion that the best of the yogis and sages desire. If a person as strong as an elephant does not eat for 3 days, he will not be able to walk, and his body will become weak. Although each of those children did not eat for 1 month, they behaved like lions. Such was the potency that was manifest by Lord Nityananda. Yet by the influence of Lord Chaitanya's illusory energy, no one could understand. In this way, Nityananda stayed a few days in the house of Gadadhar Das, absorbed in the mellows of ecstatic love. Gadadhar Das did not display external consciousness. He would always induce everyone to chant Hari Bol. Oh, this is nice, this pastime of the Kazi. Okay, there was a most sinful Kazi living in that village. He strongly opposed the performance of kirtan. Gadadhar Mahashai was always intoxicated with transcendental ecstasy. One night, he went to the house of the Kazi. Although people generally ran away in fear of that Kazi, Gadadhar fearlessly went at night to his house. Gadadhar continually chanted the name of Hari as he entered the Kazi's house. The Kazi's servants sat down speechless as they watched Gadadhar enter. Like everybody's afraid of their life in front of the Kazi. And so the Kazi's servants couldn't believe him. They were, what? And when Gadadhar entered the place, and Gadadhar said, where is that fellow Kazi? Quickly chant the name of Krishna, or I'll sever your head. The Kazi was angry as fire as he came out of the room. But on seeing Gadadhar Das, he became pacified. The Kazi said, Gadadhar, why are you here? Gadadhar replied, I have something to say. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu have incarnated in this world to induce everyone to chant the name of Hari. You alone have not chanted the name of Hari. Therefore, I have come to your house to make you chant. Just chant the most auspicious name of Hari, and I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Although the Kazi was most envious by nature, he was stunned and could not say anything. The Kazi then smiled and said, listen, Gadadhar Das, you go home now. I will chant the name of Hari tomorrow. As soon as Gadadhar Das heard the name of Hari come from the Kazi's mouth, he became filled with ecstatic jubilation. Gadadhar Das then said, why tomorrow? You just now uttered the name of Hari. Since you have uttered the name of Hari, all your inauspiciousness has been immediately vanquished. After speaking these words, Gadadhar clapped his hands and danced wildly, intoxicated with ecstasy. After some time, Gadadhar returned to his house. Nityananda always resided in his body. Such are the glories of Gadadhar Das, who is counted among the associates of Lord Chaitanya. Saintly persons did not want to be touched by the air that touched the Kazi, for they felt that such contact would make them lose their caste. Yet Gadadhar Das Mahashai glanced mercifully on that most sinful Kazi, who took away the caste of any Hindu he encountered. When such a person gives up his envious nature, it is to be understood that this is the potency of Krishna consciousness. Fire, snakes, and tigers cannot harm a person who is truly absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Out of his causeless mercy, Lord Nityananda freely distributed to his dear associates the love for Krishna that is desired by personalities like Brahma and the attachment to Krishna displayed by the gopis. O brothers, just worship the lotus feet of Nityananda, by whose mercy one can attain the shelter of Lord Chaitanya. All right, that's all we're gonna read today. Now we'll do some kirtans for a little bit, for like 10 minutes. But yeah, we only read about half of this chapter, and then also the next chapter in Chaitanya Bhagavat, chapter 6 of Antya Kanda, is also really long, all about the glories of Nityananda rule. But I think it's nice that we especially read the glories of not just Nityananda rule, but also of his associates. All right. I'm just going to, oh, wait, let me turn on original sound for musicians. just looking at the comments. Okay. Original sounds from musicians. We should definitely sing the, what is it? Sorry, I have way too many things open. We should sing the Nityānanda-kathā. We already recited these pranam mantras for Nityananda Prabhu. Now we'll I put a footnote in the songbook. It says Nityānanda-kathā by Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur, but although this song is most often attributed to Śrīla Vrindavan Das Thakur or Śrīla Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, there is no evidence suggesting it was authored by Śrīla Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. There is an old manuscript like written around the time of the Goswamis, or like right after the Goswamis, and it says at the end of Nityānanda-kathā, it says written by Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur. So it's very likely that Prabodhananda Saraswati Thakur is the actual author of Nityānanda-kathā. I'll read the translation and then sing the verse, and then read the translation and sing the verse, so that we know what we're singing as we're singing it. Just double checking that sound for musicians is on. Okay. Sarach Chandra Brantim Spuradamalakantim Gajagatim Hari Prenmon Matam Drita Paramasatvam Smitamukam Sada Gurna Netram Karakalita Vetram Kalibidam Bhaje Nityānandam Bhajana Tarukandang Niravadi. His bright face resembles a wandering autumnal moon. His pure complexion glistens. His gait is like that of an elephant. He is utterly intoxicated in Krishna Prem, and he is the personification of pure spiritual energy, Vishuddha Sattva. His face is smiling, his eyes are ever rolling, his hands hold a staff, and by the performance of Nam Sankirtan, he dispels the forces of Kali. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. I'll read the translation first and then read the Sanskrit. He is the abode of all rasas. He is everything to his devotees. He is beyond compare. And he is the dear husband of Vasudha and Janavadevi, who are his very life. He is always maddened in prem, and he is unknown only to those of mundane intelligence. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Rasanamagaram Swajanagana Sarva Swamatulam Tadiyaika Prana Pratima Vasudha Janavapatim Sada Premon Madam Paramaviditam Mandamanasam Bhaje Nityānandam Bhajana Tarukandam Niravadi. He is most dear to Mother Shachi's son. He is worshipped by the entire universe. He is bursting with joy. By his unbounded mercy, he rescues the souls drowning in this age of Kali. And by performing Shri Harinam Sankirtan, he evaporates the swelling pride in this ocean of mundane existence. I worship the Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Shachi suno preshtam nikhila jagarishtam sukamayam kalo majjivo dharana karano dhamma karunam hare rakya narva bhava jaladi garvo nati haram bhaje Nityānanda bhajana tarukandam niravadi. O my brother Gauranga, contaminated by the vices of Kali Yuga, what will become of mankind? He thus advises the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya. Please devise a purificatory method whereby they can easily attain your shelter. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Aye bratar nrirnam kali kalushinam king nubhavita tatha prayaschitta rachaya yadanaya sata ime vrajanti tvameta saha bhagavata mantrayatiyo bhaje Nityānanda bhajana tarukandang niravadi. O brothers, simply chant incessantly the names of Sri Hari, and let the responsibility of delivering you from the ocean of repeated birth and death rest upon me. While traveling constantly, he approached the door of every home, declaring this with outstretched arms. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Ayateshtam re brata Guru Hari Hari Dvanam Anisham Tato Vasangsaram Buddhitaranadayo Mailage Idang Bahuspotar Atati Ratayan Ya Pratigriham Bhaje Nityānanda bhajana tarukanda niravadi. Once again, the translation's up here. How astonishing! He is just like Agastya Muni, who once swallowed the entire ocean, forcibly swallowing the ocean of repeated birth and death. He is the rising moon that causes this ocean of saintly persons' good fortune to swell. He is the brilliant sun, blazing before the multitude of rogues and dispelling the darkness of their ignorance. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Balat samsarambo nidhiharana kumbod bhavamaho satam shreya sindhun nati kumoda bandhum samuditam khala shreni spurjat timira hara surya prabhamaham bhaje Nityānanda bhajana tarukandam niravadi. Dancing, singing, and calling out the names of Sri Hari and delighting his own associates who are also absorbed in Sri Harinam Kirtan with his darshan. Delighting them with his darshan, he roams each and every path, casting merciful glances upon the saintly from the corners of his eyes. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-kathā, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Natantam gayantam harimanuvadantam pati pati prajantam pashyantam swamapi nadayantam janaganam prakurvantam santam sakarunadrigantam prakalanad bhaje Nityānanda bhajana tarukandam niravadi. He gently held the supremely soft lotus hand of his brother, their hearts soaring upwards in the highest bliss as they gazed at each other's faces. As he wandered here and there, he delighted the townspeople with his sweetness. I perpetually worship Śrī Nityānanda-Prabhu, the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. Sopi pranam pratu karasarasi jam komaladaram mito bhaktra loko chalita paramananda hridayam pramantam madhuryar ahaha madayantam purajanan bhaje Nityānanda bhajana tarukandam niravadi. May Śrī Nityānanda-Prabhu's two lotus feet brilliantly manifest in the hearts of those who recite this unprecedented and supremely potent Nityanandashtakam, which is the reservoir of ras, the treasure of exalted Rasik Vaishnavas, and the abode of the essence of Bhakti Ras. It bestows liberation upon all fallen souls who simply remember it. Rasanam adharam Rasika varasar Vaishnavadhanam Rasagaram saram Patita tatitarang smarananta Parang Nityānanda Shtakamidam apurvam patatiyas Tarangri dvandvabjam Suratu nitaram tasya hridaye Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. I forgot to send out the Nityananda Avirbhav Kirtan. Anyhow, God, I need to make a list of all the titis in the year just so that I remember. I need to make it a to-do thing. Anyhow, but I do have it. It's right here. Here's a song of the appearance of Nityananda Prabhu. So maybe we'll sing this and then we'll end our program for today. So I'll just read the translation of the full song and then we'll sing it. In the country named Rad, in the village of Ekachakra, at the house of Harai Pandit, Haladar, the carrier of the plough, appeared in the auspicious month of Magh, on the 13th day of the bright lunar fortnight. Completely ecstatic, Harai Pandit held a grand festival, and Mother Earth trembled, unable to contain her bliss. The Lord of Shantipur, Śrī Advaita Acārya, having deduced the time of Nityananda Prabhu's appearance, was overjoyed at heart. He understood that Balaram, the elder brother of Śrī Krishna, had appeared. The hearts of the Vaishnavas were delighted, and they floated in an ocean of bliss. The morose Krishna says, "This lowly wretch will surely be saved." Okay. Arara deshanam ekachakragram Harai Pandita Khan. Arara deshanam ekachakragram Harai Pandita Garam. Shubha Magamasi Shukla Trayodashi Shubha Magamasi Shukla Trayodashi Janamila Halatar Janamila Halatar Harai Pandita Ati Harashita Putra Mahotsava Kore. Harai Pandita Ati Harashita Putra মহোৎসব করে। ও ধরণী মণ্ডল করে টলমল, ধরণী মণ্ডল করে টলমল, আনন্দ নাহি কো ধরে, আনন্দ নাহি কো ধরে। শান্তিপুরনাথ মনে হরষিত করি কিছু অনুমান। শান্তিপুরনাথ মনে হরষিত করি কিছু অনুমান। অন্তরে জানিলা ভুজি জনমিলা, অন্তরে জানিলা ভুজি জনমিলা, কৃষ্ণের অগ্রজরা, কৃষ্ণের অগ্রজরা। বৈষ্ণবের মান, what is it? বৈষ্ণবের মান হইল পরসন, আনন্দ সাগরে ভাসে। বৈষ্ণবের মান হইল পরসন, আনন্দ সাগরে ভাসে। দিন পামার হইবে উদ্ধার, এদিন পামার হইবে উদ্ধার, কহে দুঃখী কৃষ্ণ দাসে, কহে দুঃখী কৃষ্ণ দাসে। রাড়দেশ নাম এক চক্রাগ্রাম, হারায় পণ্ডিত ঘর। শুভ মাঘ মাসি শুক্ল ত্রয়োদশী, শুভ মাঘ মাসি শুক্ল ত্রয়োদশী, জনমিলা হলধর, জনমিলা হলধর। হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে, হরে রাম হরে রাম, রাম রাম হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ, কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে হরে। হরে রাম হরে রাম, রাম রাম হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে। হরে রাম 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 হরে হরে। জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম, জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম, নিত্যানন্দ রাম, জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম, জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম, নিত্যানন্দ রাম, নিত্যানন্দ রাম, জয় নিত্যানন্দ। নিতাই হে নিতাই হে, নিতাই হে নিতাই হে, Nitai, 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 hey, Nitai, 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 oh, Nitai, 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 hey, Nitai, 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 hey, Gora, 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 hey, Gor, 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 Gora, 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 Nitai, 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 Gauranga, Nitai, 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 oh, Nitai, 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 Gauranga, Nitai, 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 Gauranga, oh, Nitai, Gauranga Jai, Nitai, Gauranga, Nitai, Gauranga Jai, Nitai, Gauranga, oh, Nitai, Gauranga Jai, Nitai, Gauranga, Nitai, Gauranga Jai, Nitai, 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 Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai, Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai, Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jaya Guru, Jaya Patita Pavana, Guru Deva, Patita Pavana, Guru Deva, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Hare Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, oh, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, oh, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Nityānanda. Yes, I had a very strange setup. Okay, Jai Shri Nityānanda Rama ki Jai, Jai, Jai Shri Sachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju ki Jai, Jai Shri Nityananda Sarup ki Jai, Jai Shri Bankim Rai ki Jai, Jai Shri Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shrimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shrimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shrimad Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shrimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai, Nityalila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishta Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Nityalila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shrimad Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Balavat Tirtha Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Dait Madhav Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srimad Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, jai, all the associates of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And we also read an article by Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj. Yeah, jai Srila Gaur Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki jai, jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, jai Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Gan ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, jai Dwadasha Gopala ki jai. Actually, let's say the names of all the Dwadash Gopalas. That's nice to do on Nityananda Trilogy. We can do their Jai Dwani. One second. Let me just find it though. Here. One second. got it here. Okay. Jai Shri Abhiram Thakur ki Jai. Shri Udharan Datta Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Kamalakar Pipalai ki Jai. Jai Kala Krishna Das ki Jai. Shri Gauri Das Pandit ki Jai. Shri Parameshwari Das ki Jai. Shri Dhananjay Pandit ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Datta ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Das ki Jai. Shri Mahesh Pandit ki Jai. Sridhar Pandit, is that Kolavechar Sridhar? I don't know. Jai Sridhar Pandit ki Jai. Jai Sundarananda Thakur ki Jai. Jai, what's his name? Paramananda Prabhu? I forgot. No, Purandar Thakur ki Jai. Jai Darash Gopal ki Jai. Jai, was it Gadadhar Das there? No. Jai Gadadhar Das Thakur ki Jai. Jai, all the associates of Nityananda Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shri Vasudha Janava Devi ki Jai. Jai Shri Harai Pandit ki Jai. Harai Oja ki Jai. Shri Parmavati Devi ki Jai. Jai Shri Nityananda Rama ki Jai. Jai Patita Pavan Shri Nityananda Rama ki Jai. Jai Tadiya Shubha Avirvav Titi ki Jai. Shri Nityananda Trayodasi Titi ki Jai. Titi Palan Karibhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Ekachakra Gram ki Jai. Jai. Where's Nityananda Prabhu's? There's Veera Chandra ki Jai, Veera Bhadra ki Jai, and Ganga Devi, right? Is his daughter. Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki Jai. Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Par ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Śrī Nitāy Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashaja Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat Pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Gokuleshwari Didi. Let's see on YouTube and Facebook who is all there. Once again, just opening up Restream. There. Haribo, Kishore Prabhu, Pramila Didi, Krishna Mai Didi, Phuleshwari Didi, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantaramurti Mataji, Vangshiwala Prabhu, Vidyalalasa Didi, Vrinda Didi, Raseshwari Mataji, Gopali Didi, and so many other devotees. I'm guessing. Thank you, Indira Mataji, also for sharing with me that Shubhananda Prabhu, Dandavat Pranams, and so many other devotees, a lot of devotees today. Dandavat Pranams, thank you so much for joining. And now I'm going to go to a program at Bhaktivedanta Kunj. And Padmanabha Maharaj will give a class. I don't know what time. I'm guessing it'll go live at around 11 a.m. You can go to his, on Facebook, you can go type in BV Padmanabha, and you'll find his Facebook page, and you'll see it will go live there at, I don't know what time, maybe like in a couple hours from now. But I hope you all had or are having a wonderful Nityananda Trayodashi. We didn't do that much Nityananda Kirtan because there isn't time, but anyways, this is just a supplementary program. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining. And I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Man, I mean, reading that Chaitanya Bhagavat was just so... What you can't, what can you say? I kind of just want to read Chaitanya Bhagavat now. But I think we should probably continue on with our program. Maybe we'll read Harinam Chintamani. Yeah, I think we'll read Harinam Chintamani tomorrow. All right, Dandavat Pranams. Thank you so much for joining. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Oh, and if anybody wants the words to that Nityananda Kirtan that I just sang, you can find it on Vine of, oh God, well, it's not so clear. Okay. On vineofdevotion.com, you'll see I wrote a post about Nityananda called Our Supreme Shelter. In that post at the bottom, there's a link to this article, The Glories of Nityananda. And at the beginning of this article, there's a link to the Nityananda Appearance Pastime song that we just sang. So that's how you can find it. All right, Dandavat Pranams.